And, of course, I'm sure you'll have seen in the last few hours, this morning, the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, announced he has resigned or will resign as the leader of the Labour Party.
The question my party is asking now is whether I am best placed to lead us into the next general election. I have heard the answer of my parliamentary party to that question, and I accept that answer with good grace. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party. And look at what we've achieved in just 2 years. An economy that is stronger, growing faster than our peers. Wages rising faster than inflation in every single month since we came to power. An end to austerity, with the fastest fall in NHS waiting lists for 17 years. Small boat crossings falling. Asylum hotels closing.
Well, Denise is enthralled, as you can say. Now, Sir Kier has asked Labour's governing body to set out a timetable now to replace him, ensuring that a new leader is in place before Parliament resumes in September. Denise, that was Denise's reaction now. This was her reaction when we were listening to his speech this morning. This was literally in the middle of his speech to tell the country, the nation, that he was going to step down as Prime Minister. Why, Denise, why that reaction?
You can't, I suppose, invent a personality. I'm afraid it does matter to me, the sort of the X-factorness of who is, you know... I'm not a fan of Boris Johnson's politics, but at least the man had a personality. And
you just stayed awake during his speech.
Well, yes, I did. And the thing is, they might as well just get the spitting image puppet of John Major out and replace it with Kier, because he's just so boring to look at and to listen to. But I am glad that he's gone. He has stood there and listed all of these successes, everything that he's done so marvellously. If that was the case, he would surely not be standing outside 10 Downing Street resigning as the Prime Minister. I think it is a tough gig. I think that social media, you can't get away with anything. It used to be that we had limited information in a newspaper. We all believed the legacy media, and we didn't know as much about what is going on. But he has not eradicated child poverty. There's 4 million children in poverty in this country. He said today, I have restored the United Kingdom's reputation in the world. I don't think he has. The fact that he didn't do anything about the grooming gang investigations is absolutely
Yeah, but there
appalling.
are things he has done, and we have to give him that. There are things he has done. He says his wages have risen faster than inflation. He said...
The country's nearly bankrupt.
Hang on, fastest falling NHS waiting list for 70 years. Well, it is falling. It is falling. Small boat crossings have fallen.
Please don't go on to me about the small...
But they have
By
fallen.
4 people?
No, by more than that. They've closed a lot of asylum hotels. And also, we talked about this on the show last week, Brenda, or the week before, the ban on social media.
So why have we lost faith in him, then? Why does everybody want him to go?
Well, why have you lost faith in him? Have you lost faith in him? Are you glad he's going?
I'm glad he's going. Where I'm at is I think that there needs to be a general election so that the people who all these MPs are supposed to be representing can actually have their say. There's been a lot of decisions that have been made without us. And yes, there was the conversation that we had about the social media side of things last week, but there's also, you know, the digital ID thing and everybody's got something to say, and it's like the MPs are not listening.
We don't get say anymore.
Well, exactly. So I think
if you're saying that, you're worried that you won't get a say. The nominations to become new Prime Minister open on the 9th of July. And they close on the 16th. Now, if nobody comes forward and challenges Andy Burnham, then he could be Prime Minister in 3 weeks.
Yeah, but who's voted for Andy Burnham? Nobody's actually asked us, who do we want to run for the country?
So does that bother you?
It does bother me that we're not being asked.
He could potentially become the Prime Minister and...
No, it just bothers me that we're not being asked about anything. Let's do this and not ask.
We do not know what Andy Burnham's manifesto is. I don't, unless I've missed that.
Well, you'd like to assume that it would be me the Labour Party manifesto that they won their landslide victory on.
And didn't deliver on.
But he
Yeah,
hasn't...
it was a landslide by default, though, wasn't it? Because of the awful state we were in because of the Tories. I don't think it was that everybody desperately wanted...
Well, Andy
Keir
Burnham,
Starmer.
apparently, he wants to bring water, energy and transport back into public control. Social care, he suggested that inheritance tax could be replaced with a national care levy where the wealthiest pay the most, which would mean that care is provided free for more people. Housing, he wants to deliver the largest council house building programme since the Second World War. Tax, he wants to replace council tax with a land value tax. Not really sure what that means. And immigration, he said he does support tighter immigration policies. Grace, youngest member on the panel.
God bless.
God bless you. What do you make of all this? Because we've seen, what, 7 prime ministers in 9-10 years now. Does that bother you? Because I know a lot of young people are just like, oh, I can't be bothered with any of them now.
Yeah, well, I think it's a shame because I actually did vote for Labour in the past election because, to me, it was sold as they are for working class people. They are just for the people in general, for the NHS, all of that. So I thought, OK, this is a good one. No one had really given Labour a chance as well in a while. So I thought this would be amazing if this happens. They've come in, I think it's unfortunate that it was Keir Starmer leading them. I think maybe if it was someone like Angela Rayner, it may have been a little bit different. I prefer her.
Is that because, like Denise said, you think there's more personality there?
Yeah, but also there's a lot of Labour MPs that are amazing people and they are genuinely people that care about people in this country. Not saying that he doesn't, but yeah, they outwardly show what they want to do and what they want to change. And every manifesto I've seen, they'll just talk and they just don't
deliver.
They never deliver it. So I don't know why they bother putting out a manifesto.
So you're a bit disillusioned by it all at the moment?
Yeah.
OK. The other thing the Prime Minister spoke about was his other very important job.
When I leave the biggest job in the country, I shall spend more time on the most important job, being the best husband I can to my fantastic wife, Vic, who has been a rock by my side through good times and bad, and being the best dad I can to my beautiful children, who are my pride and my joy.
Well, obviously, a very emotional Prime Minister there. And this comes after Cabinet Ministers have said over the weekend that the Prime Minister called his wife, Lady Starmer, his most important advisor, and that her opinions carry more weight than any of his closest advisors. I mean, whether that's true or not, it was very emotional. That, I mean, like, it doesn't matter about their politics. Whenever I see a Prime Minister resigning, there's always a little wobble in the voice, and I find that emotional, because then I think you see the person.
Of course.
Then,
I just wish we'd maybe seen a bit more of that.
Possibly. But in terms of turning to your partner for support and advice, would you turn to Ella always?
Yeah,
Whatever
absolutely.
Big or small problem?
Unfortunately, that girl just listens to the sound of my voice. She can't escape it.
We have our greatest sympathies.
Yeah, I think it's situational, though. Most things I'll go to Ella about, and I think she'll give me such good advice. But a lot of the things I'll also go to my parents about, because I think they've got a lot of wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, they've been on this earth not too long, but quite long.
So would it be the more serious, or not say serious things, but bigger problems,
yeah, or
where you
things
think
that,
I need a bit
yeah,
of a
things
more
that they've
mature
been
view?
through in their life, or just stuff that you want a little, maybe a deeper, things that they have already been through themselves. Yeah. That's when I'm like, I know you're going to give the best advice, but also poor Ella, she will listen to me 24 hours a day.
But would you do the same? I mean, would she ever
Absolutely.
ask you about career advice, obviously based in football?
Yeah, she'll talk to me about it, but it's because I have no clue. I'm like, I think your mum will know the answer to this. And she always does. I think mums are great to go to because they always seem to have the answer, and dads.
Well, actually, do you have the answer for your children, Brenda?
Well, do I have the answer for it?
We're
No.
saying, so, that Grace is saying, you'd always go to your parents for advice. Does Tanisha come to you?
Well, no, Tanisha doesn't. Tanisha, I go to her. Jamal and Tanisha they're my sounding board for a lot of whether it's to do with I'm going to audition for this role. Do you think that I should do it, especially if I'm going on tour? So I always ask their advice and what they think with regards to my work. But to do with health and things to do with money, now I speak to my partner about that and we have open conversations about that. So I agree with what what Grace is saying, it's different people have different benefits.
Yeah, I think it depends, Denise, really, what the question is, what the problem is, doesn't it? When I think of, I would have, you know, asked my parents things. My girlfriend, if it's anything emotional, it's always my girlfriends, my best friends.
And we have different girlfriends. I have different girlfriends that I would go to for different.
What about
different
Lincoln?
reasons.
Do you turn
I think
to him?
Lincoln is probably my go-to person. We tend to align on most things, but. And he does that to me. I'm the first person. Well, I say that on anything financial and business-wise. He doesn't come to me, but he would always include me in the discussion. But yes, I think I go to him. Even on career things, it's important to me, especially if it entails, you know, going away. It's very important to me what he thinks, and I think he generally gives. He generally gives good advice.
And sometimes I think somebody outside of a situation can have a clearer view sometimes. And say for Lincoln, if it's a work thing, you know, he's not an actor, it's not his world. But sometimes when you're sitting outside it, we get very involved in things, whatever your job is or whatever the problem is. Sometimes
He's
it
very
takes a
practical
person
and business-like.
outside.
Sometimes my heart takes over and I think I should do that. And he comes at it with the... But let's just... What are you getting out of that?
Yes.
You're going to get really stressed by it, you're going to get really anxious, and you're not really getting anything for it. And that sort of makes me question everything.
Do you listen?
I do in the main listen.
Yeah.
Not
I have
always,
to say, I actually feel really flattered if Jack, we're talking about your children, if Jack comes to me for advice, I feel really flattered.
Oh, I do as
Because, you know,
well.
when you're young, you're basically, when they're young, you're telling them what to do. You know, we do that and do this. But when they're adults, you know, for him to come to me and say, what do you think about this, Mum? I'm thinking this, what do you think? I feel very like,
It's like a compliment.
he's
You're
asking
parenting
me.
Yeah.
as well.
It's parenting.
Yeah, I think it's a compliment to you because they feel comfortable enough to
thank
come
you.
and ask.
That's how I feel. So that's good to hear. Thank you very much. I'll take that.